So Justin and I were talking earlier about his detailing business. You've been a professional detailer for about 15 years now, right?
Correct.
Some of the things that is from a business owner standpoint, there's ways you can go with doing add-ons to not only add value to you, but to your customer. And these are some of the products you highlighted as would be a good path to go down for the guy just starting up in the detailing business. So kind of break it down what we've got here.
So the way that add-ons work basically is you have a service that you would offer a customer, and in some cases you could actually bundle the service with such as trim, wheels, and glass, or you could keep it separate as an a la carte.
Okay.
I find it as a professional business owner and a detailer that you would want to go ahead and do it a la carte. It would make you more profitable. Some do bundle it, some don't. For example, the Black Label Ceramic Trim Restorer. This is great for faded trim, and especially when you can't use traditional trim products to help restore it. This will give it that black like new look, but also give it years worth of protection versus something you would have to revisit. So in that case, this will add value back to a trim surface, that where you would want to be able to charge for it because they're going to be able to get years worth of out of it.
So it's value to the customer as well.
Bingo. Yeah, both ways, both the business and the customer, because you're giving them something that's more advanced than the standard. And even with the wheel coatings, this is going to be something with the DP wheel coating that is going to allow the customer to make it easier for them to get the brake dust off and also reduce the amount of brake dust that will accumulate on the wheel surface. So that way it does make it easier for them with less elbow grease.
I like it.
Yeah, and this is a great add-on because this is something that you could do on the face of the rims themselves or the wheels themselves, and it makes it easier for the consumer or the DIY person to be able to do the application.
Especially if a guy's going to bring his vehicle or a gal to a professional detailer, more than likely they're going to go with some aftermarket wheels, some expensive wheels, and they want them to really pop and look good. And it's really hard to maintain some of those wheels because you've got all kinds of contours and curves to it. So keeping them clean is easier. I think that's a huge bonus for a consumer.
And we both know that in the world of aftermarket wheels, the prices could range anywhere from low end to high end, but they're still not inexpensive no matter how you cut it, right? So that's the best way to protect and preserve the finish on them. Then you get into a glass coating. Like with this one, this is the Blackfire Glass Pro coating system. This is a two-part system. I personally like glass coatings because in any type of inclement weather, whether it be here in Florida with me or snow in Chicago with you, this helps reduce the amount of wiper use, but also helps in regards to visibility, which is a huge help when driving, right? It helps with safety.
Yeah, right.
So this is something that's great for either just the windshield or for all the glass if somebody wants something that's super hydrophobic and repellent to all the elements out there as they're driving to make visibility much greater. And it's a simple system. Being it's a two-part system, it's a no-brainer in regards to the application.
Let me ask you something. As a shop owner, you've got people who go into their parts store down the street and they find an over-the-counter product, let's say an Armor All, so to speak. They want to slather it all, everything. Isn't that going to do the same? Why would I need to buy this stuff?
Well,
What's the best answer to tell a shop owner as to how to handle that situation?
There are different tiers of products in chemistry, right? There's entry-level chemistry and more premium-based chemistry. Some of your DIY stuff that you could find at your basic parts store or big box store, those are going to be solely directed mostly towards DIY markets. So they're not going to have some of the more in-depth chemistry to them. Because the more in-depth chemistry, the more premium chemistry is going to be geared towards the professional because they know how to, because of the learning curve of application. They're less likely to mess up the application. As the word consumers are smart, but you give them a more simple, straightforward product, there's less room for error.